Hi, this is Enavin, rule number 49. My topic is about explain homomorphism with examples. Homomorphism. It is a special correspondence between the members elements of two algebraic systems such as two groups, two rings, or two fields. Two homomorphic systems have the same basic structure, and while their elements and operations may appear entirely different, results on one system often apply as well to the other system. Thus, if a new system can be shown to be homomorphic to a known system, certainly known features of one can be applied to the other. In a homomorphism, corresponding elements of two systems behave very similarly in combination with other corresponding elements. For example, let G and H be groups. The elements of G and G are denoted uh, G comma G dash so on, and they are subjected to some operation direct place. Although the symbol may be thought of as some operation like multiplication, the symbol can just as well indicate rotation or some other non-arithmetic operations. Similarly, the elements of H are denoted by H comma H dash so on, and they are subjected to some operation direct multiplication. A homomorphism from G to H is a corresponding G to H between all elements of G and some elements of H that has the following property. If G to H and G dash to H dash, then G direct sum G dash to H direct multiplication H dash. In other words, the element of H corresponding to a product of elements in G is the product in the same order of the elements of H corresponding to the two elements in G. Expressed more compactly, the image of the product is the product of the images, or the correspondent preserves the operation. Homomorphisms impose conditions on a mapping F from if E is the identity of G, then G direct sum is equals to G. So F of G direct sum E is equals to F of G. Furthermore, since F is a homomorphism, F direct sum E is equals to F of G direct multiplication F of E. So F of G is equals to F of G direct multiplication F of E. By the cancellation laws for groups, this implies that F of E is equal to the identity in H. Thus, homomorphisms map the unique identity element of one group to the unique identity element of the other group. Similarly, homomorphisms map the inverse of an element G in one group to the inverse of the element F of G. This is why homomorphisms are called structure preserving maps. Special types of homomorphisms have their own names. A one-to-one homomorphism from G to H is called a monomorphism, and a homomorphism that is onto or covers every element of H is called an epimorphism. An especially important homomorphism is an isomorphism, in which the homomorphisms from G to H is both one-to-one and onto. In this last case, G and H are essentially the same system and differ only in the names of their elements. Thus, homomorphisms are useful in classifying and enumerating algebraic systems since they allow one to identify how closely different systems are related. A bijective homomorphism is called an isomorphism. An isomorphism between two algebraic objects AA and BB identifies them with each other. They are, in an algebraic sense, the same object possibly written in two ways. The most common use of homomorphisms in abstract algebra is via the three so-called isomorphism theorems, which allow for the identification of certain quiescent objects with certain other sub-objects, subgroups, subrings, etc. Many important concepts in abstract algebra, such as the integers modulo n, a prime ideal in a ring, the sign of a permutation, can be naturally considered as the image of a homomorphism, the kernel of homomorphism or the homomorphism itself. Kernel and image. Let G1 and G2 be groups and let F from G1 to G2 be a homomorphism. The image of F is the subgroup F of G1 less than or equals to G2. It is a subgroup of G2 by 1 of proposition. The kernel of F is the subgroup F inverse of 1 less than or equals to G1, that is the preimage of 1. It is a subgroup of G1. Here kernel of F is equals to G gives G1 from F of G is equals to 1. If G2 is written additively, we would replace the condition F of G is equals to 1 by F of G is equals to 0. Example. We now run through the example and describe the kernel and image. If F from G1 to G2 is an isomorphism, then kernel of F is equals to 1 and image of F is equals to G2. If I is equals to H to G is the inclusion of subgroup, then kernel I is equals to 1 and image I is equals to H. If F from G to H is the trivial homomorphism, then kernel F is equals to G and image F is equals to 1. Clearly, a homomorphism F from G to H is the trivial homomorphism. The kernel of the image of it is Auster since it is surjective. If F from C to C star is the complex exponential F of Z is equals to e to the power of Z, then kernel of F is equals to 2n pi I n belongs to Z is equals to 2 pi I and image of F is equals to C star, as the complex exponential is surjective. For the real exponential, e to the power of x is equals to r gives r star. For the absolute value function F from C star is r star defined by F of Z is equals to modulus Z. Kernel of F is equals to u of y. For the given function sin r star gives plus or minus 1. Kernel sign is equals to r greater than 0 and image sign is equals to plus or minus 1. Cayley's theorem. Let G be any group, finite or not. We shall construct an injective homomorphism F from G to SG. Setting H is equals to image of F, there is a corresponding homomorphism which we carelessly again denote by F from G to H. Then F remains injective and it has become surjective by definition, so that it is a isomorphism. Finally, taking G to be infinite, an enumeration of the elements of G as G1 so on Gn, where n is equals to as G, defines an isomorphism. To find the homomorphism F1, we must for every G belongs to G find a bijection. Lambda G equals to G to G. The definition of lambda G has been foreshadowed from our very first days in group theory. Lg of x is equals to G into x. Thus the function Lg is left multiplication by G. The L we have seen that Lg is a bijection for every G, that is an element of a G. F of G is equals to Lg. We first check the F is a homomorphism. We must show that F of GH is equals to F of G into F of H, or equivalently that LGH is equals to LG circle LH. To check this equivalency of functions, we check that the values of x are equal for every x belongs to G. Thus F is a homomorphism. Finally, we must show that F is injective. One can do this by applying proposition, but it is easier to argue directly. If Lg is equals to LH, then the functions Lg and LH have the same value on any x belongs to G, in particular on x is equals to 1. Thus Lg is equals to 1 is equals to Lg1 LH1. On the other hand, Lg of 1 is equals to G into 1 is equals to G, and similarly LH of 1 is equals to H. Thus G is equals to H and F is injective. Instead of working with left multiplication, we could try to work with right multiplication. Rg g to g defined by Rg of x is equals to x into g, then Rg is still an element so of Hg. The proof of Cauchy's theorem may seem as if it is done with smoke and mirrors. However, we will see interesting variations on the method of proof later. That's all about my topic. Thank you.